Hey, Mike with Marketing Systems by Design here, the channel where we help cleaning business owners get more traffic, leads, and sales for their cleaning business with digital marketing. In today's video, I'll be walking you through how to get cleaning contracts with schools without past experience, so let's get into it. So you probably see schools as a great opportunity to expand your cleaning business, and you would definitely be right. There's a lot of room for expansion and there's a lot of room to clean when it comes to cleaning schools. So this can definitely lead to big contracts and more profits for your cleaning business, but there is a process to clean for schools. So when it comes to cleaning schools, you need to make sure that safety is a priority, especially when you're dealing with children. You want to make sure that your cleaning business is maintaining that safe environment with these kids. And so you need to make sure that you do thorough background checks and put a priority on safety when it comes to building your cleaning business. And again, a school is not going to be likely to hire your company if you have employees that have a past criminal record or shady things, right? And so what you need to do is spend that extra money up front to invest in thorough background checks to make sure that your employees and staff are in the clear, because if you don't, it could cost you in the long run by not being able to actually acquire these cleaning contracts. You also want to make sure that you train your employees and staff on proper safety procedures. So making sure that only specific staff are allowed in the building, that you're keeping track of who comes in and who comes out, various things like that to just maintain that high standard of safety that schools are going to be looking for. The second thing that you can do is actually to focus on reducing your turnover rate. And this is very important because, again, schools are going to want to see that consistency of staff. They don't want to see new staff coming in every single day. It kind of makes them wary that, your staff is frequently leaving. They maybe can't be trusted, these new people coming in. So if you can work on reducing your turnover, one, that's going to, again, reduce that amount that new people are going in and out of the school. So maintaining that safety standard. But it also has a lot of other benefits, because if your staff is turning over less, likely that means they're better trained, so they're going to do a more efficient job. And again, this just lowers your costs, and schools are obviously looking for great quality service at the lowest cost, and that can help you win more contracts as well. So focus on reducing that turnover rate, and that can help you land school contracts as well. Now, if you're just getting started, you might not have any contracts with schools, but if you have other cleaning clients, what you want to do is get reviews and testimonials from them. And this is important because it builds that social proof, it builds that credibility for your cleaning business. And so again, even if it's not necessarily from a school, having a positive review, having positive case studies and testimonies from your existing client can again build up that credibility for your cleaning business, and the more likely you are to get hired for school cleaning contracts. Another big priority you want to focus on is cleaning for health. Now, obviously in the world we're living in today, cleaning for health is very important, but it's even more so important when it comes to schools. A lot of kids will come to school sick. They don't necessarily stay home all the time. And so there's really a lot of germs spreading everywhere. Kids maybe aren't necessarily as sanitary as adults. They maybe haven't learned that skill set yet. And so hygiene is not necessarily there like you might have in other commercial cleaning situations. So when it comes to school, you really need to prioritize cleaning for health, and then make sure you emphasize that on your website too. So if you're doing sanitizing services, disinfecting services, if you have a process that you go through of sanitizing touch points, various things like that, you want to make sure that you highlight that process in your proposals, but also on your website in general, because schools are going to want to see that you focus on that cleaning for health aspect in your cleaning business before they hire you for a contract. This also ties into the next step that you want to do, and that's really optimizing your proposal. So again, when you're out there giving proposals to schools, typically when it comes to like K through 12 schools, those are going to be government contracts. So they want to make sure that your proposal is professional, that they're dealing with a company they can trust. So make sure again that you outline your proposals professionally. You outline your process that you go through. You highlight on cleaning for health, doing those sanitizing touch points. And then another thing to keep in mind as well is typically when you're trying to get contracts with schools, you're going to be dealing with a board of directors. And so when you make a proposal, understand who's actually on the board, find that out, and then make a personal proposal for each person on the board. So they're not all just trying to share one and figure out if they should hire you or not. So make sure that you focus on professionalism, hitting those points of safety and cleaning for health, and highlighting your process that you go through with that, and then make those individualized proposals for each board member as well. The sixth thing that you need to do is get the necessary equipment to clean schools. Now, if you're in a traditional office building, office setting, maybe you don't need as much high-level equipment, but when you're dealing with schools, for example, typically they're going to have really long hallways, for example. And so instead of trying to polish floors, with smaller equipment, sometimes you're going to need larger equipment to clean the schools more effectively. And so again, if you're not efficient, you're putting in a lot more hours to do the same kind of job that somebody else could do with the right equipment, they're going to choose them over you. So emphasize in your proposals, in your process that you're explaining on your website, that you have the specific cleaning equipment that can clean these schools efficiently. Another area that you want to look at when it comes to cleaning schools are restrooms. And so again, sometimes schools can have thousands of children in it on a daily basis. And so there's only a handful of restrooms typically that a school is going to have to, again, deal with that many children and staff. And so you need to make a priority of cleaning restrooms safely and efficiently. And sometimes you need specialized equipment to do that. So look into that, learn more about what specialized equipment you might need. So again, you might not just be able to cut it with mops and a bucket. That might not do a good enough job of sanitizing and cleaning things like restrooms. So make sure you have specialized equipment for cleaning for health, sanitizing, disinfecting, floor maintenance, and more, because when you improve that efficiency, you improve your production rates, the more likely you're going to get that contract for cleaning in schools. Another tip for you is to start small. So a lot of people see that schools are huge, right? There are a lot of square footage to clean, and so they want to jump in these large universities, these large elementary schools, high schools, again, whatever the case might be. And instead, what you need to do is start out small, especially if you don't have any experience yet. Likely these big contracts are not going to go to someone just getting started that's never cleaned a school before. So in order to get your foot in the door, you want to start with smaller opportunities like charter schools or public schools, maybe even daycares, where it's a kind of a similar type of experience, but just on a smaller scale. And so when you do that and you build that experience, you prove that you do a good job, that can lead into new opportunities and getting larger schools and larger contracts when you prove that you can do a good job. So make sure that you get testimonials from these locations, from these private schools, charter schools, because again, that can help build your credibility to transition into these larger contracts with schools. Similar to this, you also want to look into opportunities for subcontracting. This is kind of similar to cleaning medical facilities, for example, where you might not start with a huge hospital and cleaning that entire thing. They might just subcontract parts of that cleaning out to various cleaning companies. So similar to that with schools, they might subcontract certain aspects. So if you can kind of get your foot in the door, start cleaning on that location, prove your worth, do a good job, set high standards, they might allow you to kind of expand into other areas of the school and then maybe even eventually take over. The ninth thing that you can do is actually to network more in the community. And so if you're attending networking groups, you can plug into things like the Chamber of Commerce, for example. People that are on boards of directors typically are active in the community as well. And so if you want to run into people that might be on the board of directors for a school you're looking to get into. Being active in these communities are important. Again, it's not necessarily the people that you meet. They might know other people that you don't know that run these boards, and again, that make these kind of decisions when it comes to getting contracts with schools. So being active in these communities, networking. Now, again, this doesn't mean you're just pitching your cleaning business on day one and trying to, weasel your way in. That's not really how it works. You need to develop relationships in these networking groups, in these communities. And then when the door opens and they are open to checking out a new cleaning business to, take over in this school, you're first of mind. So network in these groups, build relationships. And again, that can transition into high quality contracts with schools in the long run. Another thing similar to this is asking for referrals. So some of your current contracts, current cleaning clients might know other people that deal with cleaning contracts related to schools. So ask for referrals. It's always an open door. It could lead to great opportunities. And you also might want to consider incentivizing these referrals as well. So depending on the size of a contract that you get from one of these referrals, you might include a free month of service, or maybe you upgrade a bonus service for free, whatever the case might be. Make it so it makes sense. So it's obviously profitable to still get that business, but also give this away for free. But incentivizing referrals can be another great way to get new contracts with schools and other cleaning clients as well. Now moving on to the digital marketing side of things, one thing that you want to make sure you include on your website is an industry page that's actually related to schools. And so again, when someone is searching online, they're checking out different cleaning businesses. If they go to your website and they look at the industries you serve and schools aren't actually listed there, they probably think that you don't clean schools. And so they're just going to go to the next competitor. But if you highlight that you service schools, again, you talk about cleaning for health, the safety standards you have, the background checks you do, the training you give your employees, all those great things. You've got employee reviews, testimonials from customers, all these different things that build credibility and social proof. If that's there along with a specific page saying that you clean schools, they're a lot more likely to reach out to you versus someone else. And so also when you have these industry pages and the industries you serve, and you're talking about education, you're talking about schools and charter schools, that's going to come up in kind of Google's radar. And so you're a lot more likely to show up in local search when local schools and people on the board are searching for things like cleaning for schools. So make sure that you have an industry page in place related to schools, because it can help you convert more traffic into leads. Similar to this, you also want to make sure that you create blog content related to cleaning for schools. And so there's a lot of topics you could cover. You could cover health and cleaning restrooms and the safety that goes into that, your process behind that. You can just talk about cleaning for schools in general, maybe what's the best process for cleaning floors in schools, right? There's a lot of different options that you can talk about. When you have this specific blog content that solves problems, that answers questions for people that are looking and interested in school cleaning, it positions you as an expert in the industry, and especially in the local area. Likely there's not a lot of other cleaning companies that are doing this kind of thing. So when they come to your website, they see you as a credible resource, you're creating content that solves their problems, they're going to choose you over competitors. And again, understand that a lot of people might join your email list. They might download a guide. You could even create a guide in relation to school cleaning, for example, to start generating more leads from schools as potential clients. And so what happens is when they're on your list, you're sending out this value-based content that can help transition them from a cold lead into a warm lead that's ready to learn more and request an estimate from you. So make sure that you continue to create value-based content related to cleaning schools and the safety aspects that go in, all that different stuff, because that can really position you as an expert and convert more leads that come to your website. Another kind of higher level version of this is creating actual case studies from cleaning clients from schools. Now, again, if you're just getting started, if you don't have experience cleaning schools, you're not going to have these, But if you follow the above processes, you kind of get your foot in the door, start getting these smaller school clients. And then what you want to do is kind of take their testimony, take their story, and turn it into a case study. And so basically the format for a case study, you just want to focus on what problem was this school dealing with? What issues did they have related to cleaning? And what made them decide to eventually go with you and choose your company and hire you? And then from that point, you want to go into and explain what your process was, what your key difference was, what you actually did to solve that problem. And so then you want to show what's life like after, right? So after you've been working with them for a while now, what's life like now? What is their cleaning service like? Why are they happy? How do they no longer have that issue that they used to? This is what you want to highlight in your case study, because what happens is when, again, people read this, if they can relate to that client, if they can relate to that customer, they're like, wow, I was in that exact same situation. Our school was dealing with this. We want to be like this person and not have that issue anymore. Again, they're going to reach out to you to be their new cleaning service. And again, that can help you get more contracts with schools. And really the final option that you want to plug into is running paid ads to target school cleaning. So if you're using Google Ads, for example, you can type in specific keywords related to school cleaning. So again, school cleaning near me, cleaning for schools, whatever the case might be. There's obviously a lot of keywords you can use related to this, but when you're targeting that specific keyword and keywords related to that, you send that traffic to your school industry page and make sure that you have an opt-in form on that page to request more information, to get an estimate, to download a school cleaning guide, whatever the case might be, something where you can capture that information, and then you could start building a list targeted for schools and getting those school contracts. On top of that, if you wanted to jump over on Facebook and running Facebook ads, you could create specific blog posts related to schools, send traffic there, send traffic to your industry page, and then what happens is you can actually build a custom audience of people that have visited that page, and then also build a lookalike audience that's going to build a list of people that Facebook can target that will look like people visiting that school industry page. So again, if people are visiting that page, they probably make the decisions for hiring a cleaning business in schools. And so this is a great group of people to target and again, remarket to and continue to share your message with. And so again, guys, hopefully you got some benefit and value out of this video. If you did, feel free to comment and share, and be sure to implement these strategies to help you get more contracts with schools. But if you haven't done so, be sure to subscribe and turn on that bell notification to get the latest updates of new videos we put out to help you build a successful cleaning business with digital marketing. And if you are also struggling to get leads for your cleaning business, you'd like more potential clients, be sure to download our free video training on the top 10 lead sources for cleaning business owners. So again, if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description below where you can access that free training. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.